Hey you guys, this is Quentin 601 doing another video for you really quickly. This is pertaining to the Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman cases happening in Florida. I did not want to weigh in on it at all until I learned more information. And I knew that with this situation from the beginning that it was going to be volatile, explosive, uncontrolled, and everybody was going to run with it and point fingers, and nobody would have the common sense to sit down and look at everything, and people were just going to make judgments just off the bat. And yes, some are going to be wrong, some are going to be right. I could be wrong with my how I feel, or I could be right, but it's neither here nor there, because whether who's wrong or right, it doesn't matter, because Trayvon is gone, and George Zimmerman, his life is pretty much through as well. um, if and when he goes to prison, his life is pretty much done also. So it's a lose-lose situation. So I don't know why everybody is carrying it on. So I'm gonna go ahead and give how I feel about this whole situation. Okay. From the beginning, I felt like he was guilty. Okay, but I did not speak on it like I said. Okay. Right now, I feel like that I have more concrete information for me to believe without a reasonable doubt that he killed him. Based upon profiling, because this is how I feel. Three things that stands out with me with George Zimmerman that makes me say that he's guilty. Number one, how he described being jumped on and attacked by Trayvon Martin. Okay, if Trayvon and Martin is walking back from the store, okay, and he has some skill, he has Arizona green tea, tall can, 20 ounce, 99 cent, and a bag of Skittles, whether it's a small bag or the big bag of Skittles. It was a bag of Skittles. Okay. He said that Trayvon Martin attacked him. Okay. Said that he broke his nose and hit him in the back of the head. Okay. I'm going to give y'all two scenarios with that information that to me, either way, however it went down, George Zimmerman is still guilty in my mind. Okay. Just say this. George Zimmerman called 911. He's on the phone with 911. The operator said, "Do not follow him. The police is on his way." Okay, he received a command from a public service person that may or may not be sworn in, but it does not matter. They're still working for the state, and they're a public serviceman. First response, 911. So you received your order. You disobeyed it. Okay, you followed Trayvon Martin through the neighborhood to the point where you encountered him. Okay, let's say this. Let's say if Trayvon Martin did attack um, George Zimmerman. And another piece of key information: he was driving a truck. Okay, listen to this. He was in his truck. Okay, if Trayvon Martin punched him in the nose, then tackled him to the ground where he injured the back of his head by scrapes, scratch, bruises, bumps, cracked skull, whatever. Okay, if you were attacked by Trayvon Martin and Trayvon got up and walked and was walking away or running away, to me that tells me you went after him a second time. Okay, you went after him a second time and you shot him point blank. Okay, you had already called the police, George Zimmerman. You called the police. They told you sit back and you followed him. Just by off the first incident alone, you disobeyed a policeman, a public serviceman order. Okay, look at this. If a police pull you over and they take you out of the car and they pat you down, they tell you to leave your hands on the hood or whatever and just sit here until I run your plate and your license, and I'll let you go. If you're fidgeting and everything and jumpy and moving and everything, you're gonna make them nervous and they're gonna put you in the back. And then if they find something, they're gonna arrest your ass. So therefore, you just made the situation worse for yourself. You see what I'm going at? You just made the situation worse for yourself. So with George Zimmerman, he just made the situation worse for himself, where he just should have just sat in his fucking truck, waited till the police came, pointed him out, drove back home, and called it a night. But he followed him. Okay. Scenario number two. Just say if George and which scenario number one, George, that's if George Zimmerman had his gun on him, okay, that he still followed him, or fired his gun at him after the fact, after he was told not to follow this guy. So you've um already went against an order. Scenario number two, same thing happening, same situation. The only difference is that he went back to his truck and got his gun and came back and shot Trayvon. Either way, okay, to me, you're guilty because something is not adding up there in that fight. Something is not adding up in that fight at all. It's not adding up. Trayvon, yeah, Trayvon played football. He could have tackled him and knocked him to the ground. But you tell me a 28-year-old man is going to let a 17-year-old boy um, jump him like that? I don't see that happening. I don't see a 17-year-old. I know that in your teens, we all went through this phase in our teens where we were, most of us, that we fought and this, that, and the fourth. I didn't fight in my teens. I'll just be honest. I didn't get into a lot of fights growing up. Whatever. But a lot of us did. And I just can't see a 17-year-old attacking a grown ass man and knowing that, you know, I just don't see that. I'm not saying that it happened. I'm just saying I don't see it. Number two with me, um, with George Zimmerman, um, was I may get these flipped around. I'm trying to think. Anyway, number two for me was George Zimmerman. The latest accounts before they arrested him is him. Well, this is two and three combined. One, he was running around. No one could find him. He was running around. He was in hiding. No one could find him. And his family more than likely knew where the fuck he was at. They couldn't find him. He stopped. Oh yeah, this is all wrapped up together. Number two, he stopped talking to his lawyers. He's calling up and talking to Sean Hannity on Fox News. Um, He's trying to talk to Angela Corey and her people in Jacksonville. They don't want to talk to him because he doesn't have his lawyers present. So, to me, when you are calling the prosecuting office attorney and and you're supposed to be defending yourself and you're calling them, what are you calling them for? They're trying to prosecute you. What are you calling them for? you you got some heavy shit on your conscience. You got some heavy shit on your conscience, George Zimmerman. You can play this stuff that everybody is after you. You're scared. You're losing weight. You got a guilty conscience. That's why you called Angela Corey's office, and that's why your lawyers dropped you. That's why they dropped you because they couldn't find you. You weren't communicating with your lawyers, your defense lawyers, and you called up the prosecuting lawyers. So that what threw me for a fucking loop. It's like, oh, guilty, because who does that? Think about it. Who does that? Who calls up the prosecuting lawyer unless they're trying to plea? Number three, him not being found until the last minute when they arrested him and this, that, and the fourth. To me, it just sounded like a soft attempt to either hide and or run. Okay, that's just me. That's just me. I feel like that he's guilty at this point. I was not going to get on the bandwagon with everybody else and say that he's racist, um, that he killed a black man, just a black kid, just to kill him or whatever, that he just hunted him down or run him over and killed him or whatever. It's I'm not going to say that. If we were talking about the case that happened back home in Mississippi, where I'm originally from, if we were talking about the case that happened like last June, that they finally had taken the kids to trial on that recently, if we were talking about that, then I'd say, yeah, that's clearly racially motivated because these kids sought out to beat up and end up killing a black man back home in Mississippi. Um, but this, I don't see it as far as like racially motivated more so than everybody is making it. I understand that he saw someone in a hoodie. And truth be told, and I know a lot of people get offended. A lot of people say, "Oh, he was just wearing a hoodie. You can't wear a hoodie." This, that, and the fourth. Y'all need to quit faking it. Be honest with you. And I'm not saying that Trayvon Martin's death is justified, or anything like that. I'm just saying that a number of you all, black, white, Latino, whatever, a number of you all, when you are out and about in the streets, especially at nighttime, and you see somebody with a hoodie, they're wearing a hoodie, or even they ain't gotta wear a hoodie. If they just look suspicious to you, you're gonna be on guard. Okay, you're gonna be on guard. That's anybody. That's anybody. I can see that with George Zimmerman. He saw somebody in the hoodie, and he was on guard. But where he fucked up is where he went against an order where he was told to sit still. He should have sat his ass down. But everybody is making it out of he hunted him down because he was wearing a hoodie and he was black. Okay, how would he have known that he was black until he got up on him? Or he could have saw him and said, okay, he was black or whatever the case may be. But still, at the same time, it's like the hoodie to me has nothing to do with it, as more so as like what really happened and the evidence. Everybody is trying to make this into a circus show, trying to say that people should boycott Skittles, people should boycott Arizona tea, and all this stuff. Skittles and Arizona tea has nothing to do with this. They really don't. They had nothing to do with this at all. And people are just taking this and running with it. And it's sad. It's going to be to a point where it's going to be like like I said, it's not a good story for both sides. It's not a good ending for both sides either way. It's not. Okay. It's This is just a sad case. It really is a sad case. And only thing I could say is that knowing some of Florida laws, especially this 51020 law, 51025 or 51020 law they got now, they got there. They've had it. It's been there for a while, so whatever. Um, I know for a fact, like in Florida, depending on certain felonies, if you commit a certain type of felony, certain class of felony, you automatically get 5 years. If you pull a gun out during this crime, you automatically get 10 years. If you fire the gun, that's 25 with an L or 20 with an L, automatically. So I honestly think that George Zimmerman is going to get 25 to life or 20 to life in this situation because the fact that he went against a public serviceman order. He followed this person as they were walking through the neighborhood, and whatever escalated, whatever happened and escalated. A person lost their life. And this is why I say a lot of us do not need guns at all, is because as human beings, we're quick tempered. As human beings, we are quick tempered, especially when we have something that we feel that makes us powerful. We are very quick tempered and will want to use and flex that power. And really, like, my thing is when people get guns, your attention is all evil. Your attention is all evil. I don't care how you sugarcoat and try to say you're protecting your home and your family and your property, or you want to prevent something happening to you. All in all, your underlying intention is to do bodily harm to someone else. Yes, you don't want harm to happen to you. And we all say, I'd rather have it done to somebody else than have them. I'd rather make somebody back up off of me and harm them than them harming me for doing wrong. And either way, it's not wrong, but I completely understand that. But still, at the same time, you got to understand when you have a tool like that is used for harm, nothing good is going to come out of it. And this is a good example for everybody to look at. When you have someone that I don't know if George Zimmerman was trained or not to use a gun, but many people go out and buy guns and do not get proper training. They go out in the fucking out in the woods somewhere and they're shooting cans and beer bottles and stuff like that and playing Rambo, supposed of getting proper training. And that's what gun control is all about, in my opinion, is proper training. So had he had proper training, then maybe he would have had some leverage in this. But I doubt that this man had proper training. I doubt that he understand like the responsibilities of having a gun. And now this is results. And now you're trying to use the stand your ground law, which that right there, all in together, you wasn't standing your ground. You were standing the entire neighborhood after you followed him. So even that is shot down. So that's why I say that he's in my mind he's guilty now. But You guys leave your opinion. I done rattled on for 15 minutes, so leave your opinion. This is Quentin 601.